Hello and welcome to Penny for a Tale. I hope you can hear me and I have done everything right. And if you can, get settled because we're in for a treat tonight. Tonight we're playing episode 57 of our Pathfinder adventure path. This is the Age of Ashes adventure path from Pathfinder's 2nd edition. Before I get into our sponsors for tonight, or really what's going on, I want to reintroduce our cast, starting with Daniel.
Hi guys, I'm Daniel. I'm playing Sailix Lavendale tonight, who has lost his goddamn mind. It's great. I love it. Insane Sailix is my favorite Sailix to play, so I can't wait to see what happens tonight. Yeah, that's all I got.
Right. James.
Hi, everybody. It is James, and I am playing the luxurious, the gorgeous, the long flowing hair walled elf this evening. Turned into an elf by Rune's wild magic last time. Yeah, and possibly Legion? We shall see.
Possibly. How bold of you to say, sir.
It's in my title.
Possibly.
The only reason I thought it.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to call that Chekhov's mistake. When you accidentally do something and you have to write it into
really
the plot.
Screwed the pooch.
Yeah, I know. All right. Oh man. All right. I'm killing off both of your characters. Jen.
Hi. I'm Jen. I play the Vesperin / Aaron, who is recently wed, and I just want to say that I think that the person teching the stream tonight is a fantastic human being who is so great and wonderful, I
sure.
just can't gush enough about them. They're also really handsome, and
Wait, do you hear that?
For sure.
yeah.
I hear a hero point forming off in the distance along the horizon, cresting our rogue. Wow, it's an anomaly,
Thanks,
an astrological fluke. All right, okay, I don't even know, man. Mr. Smith.
Hello, I'm Mr. Smith, playing Rune Ravenswood. And I don't know who the fuck is tech in this show. I don't know what craziness they got going on. But our GM is primo. Best storytelling, genius level IQ.
Wow.
Cheers,
The
man.
tech would not agree.
Yeah. Yep. I'll drink to that.
Yeah, you know what? I apologize ahead of time then for this session because I know we really bring the heat for our wizard.
I take everything I just said back.
Oh man. All right. Well, okay, yeah. Just briefly, our sponsors for tonight, they've been virtually the same for our entire show. We are sponsored by Smiteworks. They are the creators of Fantasy Grounds and Fantasy Grounds Unity. We're using Fantasy Grounds Unity for this campaign. We've been using it for over a year. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm sure you've heard something about it. If you're looking for a virtual tabletop, you can check them out at fantasygrounds.com. We are also sponsored by The Only Sheet. They make a fantastic, fully automated character creator, but also like a character management tool and a planner if you're looking to Excelify your character sheet on or off of a virtual tabletop. Highly recommend. Go to theonlysheet.com. And then you can hear some music, I hope, that is by Rock Narden. We will have his music throughout the night. You can find links to their stuff in the show notes. They're on Spotify as well as YouTube. And then Michael Gelfi as well for our ambient tracks between the songs. Last but not least, we have who is it? Che and Piku on Patreon, as well as Seafoot Games on Patreon. You can find links to their maps and other resources we've been using throughout the campaign as well, just supplementary. Fantastic, super high quality stuff. You could print it or use it digitally. There are gridded and non-gridded versions. Definitely check them out if you're looking to level up your tabletop experience. But without further ado, let's get into the game. I want to ask, maybe to start with the Vesperin, what was the end of the night like in Cypress Point?
So for her, she kind of after everything was done and all the fires were reasonably put out, she basically looked for a secluded spot to take her wife to try to make up for the dumpster fire of the wedding that happened. Because again, somebody should go to bed happy, and she figured it wasn't going to be her. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what about Rune? What did you do?
Well, as I recall, Rune and Sailix were dancing. At some point in time, however, if he saw his brother, he would want to talk to him if at all possible. Unless, of course, the Captain Crassius was around, in which case, maybe not. Although I don't think Rune actually knows Crassius wants to choke the life out of him, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't think
he does.
I don't think he does.
He wouldn't have met him again. Because you went directly
he hasn't met
back
Crassius since that day.
No.
since going into the gate. Oh shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess he would if he had a chance to see Ronan and talk to Ronan, he would. Otherwise, I think actually he would, the moment he could, just open his mansion and hide for like a few hours to just kind of reset,
Decompress.
Yeah. Although he
That's
would
more than
leave,
fair.
he would leave Corvus outside the mansion in order to assuage Sailix whenever Sailix decided to go batshit crazy because Rune disappeared again.
As a note,
Right, now-
there is still glitter all over that mansion.
No, because it cleans automatically.
I don't know.
But can you ever
It's
really
been like
get
5
this?
years.
Exactly. You think you've gotten
That's
rid of
the
all of it, and then
hallucination.
still just like, damn it.
It is the herpes of art supplies.
You can press the digitate the glitter away, but the soul of the glitter never truly escapes. At least the
We
memory.
got rituals for that.
Let that be the first. I will travel back in time and prevent this from ever happening. We will clean that
Ship
mansion.
through the- I took a ship through the goddamn maelstrom. I can get rid of glitter, goddammit.
What does your manor look like?
Oh, the manor? The inside of the manor is actually pretty simple. It's his old family home and farmstead. So you can't see outside because there's no space allowed, no open space allowed in the Magnificent Mansion spell. So it's just the building.
Right.
But it's really, you walk into the door and it's an old farmhouse, just one sort of big, great room. Immediately entering off to the right is a little sitting area in front of a fire. His family, drawings of his family are sort of littered around everywhere, made by Ronan and Rune and Eva Poppy when they were younger. At the far end is a mixture of a dining space and a kitchen, which, as the Vesperin and Sailix know, Rune uses actually quite often here in his little pocket dimension. There is a second floor that has really never been explored. The second floor is a series of rooms, and this is where the extra dimensional space of the mansion really comes into play, because there's essentially an uncountable number of rooms that can be put up here within the space. So Rune has a permanent bedroom up there. There's a room specifically for Sailix because Sailix is requiring some respite at one point. And there's, of course, a Poppy's room. And there's a room for Ronan, too. But yeah, the windows are open, but it's just sort of generic light that comes through. You can't really make anything out through the windows. But there's the sweet air there's the scent of sweetgrass on the air, and you can hear the birds chirping, so to speak. But yeah, it's just a quiet little farmhouse in a pocket dimension in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Nowhere's a good place to be right now. It wasn't long ago you were sailing in a sea of chaos. But I will ask, how long do you rest before you decide to head back, check on...
That's a really good question. Well, Rune, for all intents and purposes, Rune lost almost everything in the transport back. The one thing that he still is wearing is the family crest. It did survive, so it is a silver chained pendant with a red ruby at the center, and inside the ruby is the same symbol Rune has oddly on his back and on his tome, his book. He did in fact, I would say he did in fact lose his tome. It is lost somewhere in the plains at this point, and he is having to recreate much of what he knew from his other notes and his backup spell books, but the Tome of Ravenswood is no longer around, which is giving him some pause and concern. So with all that taken into account, he'd be gone for a good portion of a day. Sorry to drag out the answer a little bit, but yeah, he'd be gone for a good portion of the day.
No. Yeah, that really is sort of where Rune is. It's been only a couple of months for him, I think, when all is said and done. 6 or 7 weeks. And there's kind of that silence. You're alone. You imagine it won't be long, though, before Sailix comes looking for you. I'll ask, towards the end of the night. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Sailix.
Yes, sir.
You haven't seen Rune in a couple of hours.
Oh, right.
Thanks, GM. Couldn't just let that slide, could you?
I just want to say I didn't do this. I was not the one who.
You have choices. Sailix has choices.
He doesn't. Let's be real. All right, so Rune has been gone for a few hours. Snuck off after a few dances, and Corvus is left in his stead. Sailix paces a lot, practically wearing a hole in the dance floor from where he walks back and forth. He kind of takes to petting Corvus and feeding him random things from the leftover tables that from the banquet that was left from the wedding.
Mhm.
You're pacing, Angel. Why are you pacing? But thank you for the food.
Because they're just too loud, Bird. The words,
Well,
the
then
voices,
just
too.
shh. It'll be all right, Angel. It's just music. Or do you have the voices in your heads again?
He blinks away and then back. It's like they're just always there. It's always there, always.
Orvis similarly blinks away and back. I can pull that trick too, Angel. I ain't just a bird.
I can pull that trick too. As Waldorff like stumbles in and he just like closes his eyes and opens them again. Did it work?
Completely.
Sailix,
well done.
Sailix kind of grabs Corvus and shields Corvus's eyes from Waldorff. Don't look at him; he's a monstrosity.
He
He
is
pets
shirtless.
Corvus's head.
I mean, I wouldn't mind sleeping in his hair too. It looks all
his
warm
hair
and
is
cozy.
gorgeous. It is beautiful.
Sailix looked
It's a
at Corvus.
It's a little tousled at the moment, but
Don't be hurt,
You
Angel.
would
You're an angel. You're not an elf.
leave-
There's a bit of a difference, you see.
Fine.
Waldorff attempts
Go
to
on.
dance with Sailix.
Oh, all right.
Now, that's a right proper dance right there. You go have fun there, Angel. Start pacing.
Dancing.
Sailix would
Can we get a
definitely
performance
be
check?
taken off guard. Me or Waldorff?
Are you trying to stay afloat or are you trying to dance? We can make a skill check for this
Sailix,
dance if you would like.
And so Waldorff still has a bottle of some liquor or another in his hand. And so he's in that kind of drunken, kind of whirligig kind of, he's on top of the world and just, I mean, he's over the moon, through the roof, whatever you want to call it. He is very obviously in a great mood and you have no idea why. And he is hammered. So, yeah, we can try and roll for it. What should I roll?
Yeah. Well, you can make a performance check if you have one. Otherwise, I would say maybe
Let's do
flat
performance.
dexterity.
I don't have a performance skill. Flat
Perfect.
dex? Okay. We can do
Perfect.
flat dex.
Yeah. This is a comic relief check. Get you on as low as possible.
A 10.
10. Okay. All right. It's bad. It is. I mean, it's first lessons. It's
But I managed not to
average
fall over.
on your first lesson.
Feet are getting stepped on.
Yeah.
Feet
Yeah.
are definitely getting
No,
stepped
it's-
on. That was going to happen one way or another.
Two
'cause
left
Waldorff's legs
dwarven.
are longer. Yeah. He's not used to
So-
the gangly long limbs of an elf.
So in this, when Waldorff kind of grasps Sailix and takes the choice away to dance, and he's just kind of dragging him around, stepping on his feet. Eventually, Sailix is like, "Ah, ah, oh," and he just kind of like reaches around Waldorff's lower back and like pulls his body towards his as his wings hum to life, even though they're not visible. They start levitating in the air just above the floor.
Oh my.
As Sailix kind of turns him left and right, he's like, "You are the worst elf I have ever met." And he dips him down where his hair brushes the floor, and then pops him back up, and he's like, "And the ugliest blacksmith I've ever seen."
I'll take that as a compliment. Oh, thank you.
Waldorff, actually, I do want to ask. The last time you danced with somebody, do you remember
Did not
it?
end well. I do. Which is probably why Waldorff is so drunk. Other than the fact that he drinks like a dwarf and elves do not have dwarven constitution. But he has spent most of the evening dancing with Poppy, and so those memories are not at the forefront of his mind at the moment.
Right. Rune, I'm not sure if you would have seen this, but recently Ronan spoke with Poppy, and they set off somewhere. I think you've made it to your manor for the night before that happened, though.
All right.
Unless you're keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, you let me think. So he would leverage Mirakai. However, Mirakai cannot currently. Mirakai can't do anything particularly special. Must stay within 1 mile. Beyond that, it's just vague impressions of what's going on. Because currently, Corvus has all the cool abilities.
Right. Interesting. Well, you have a hunch then. The feeling. Poppy is leaving. You don't know who with or why, or necessarily when, but you're starting to feel that bond with Mirakai.
Is it through Mirakai? Does everything seem okay, or is there concern?
The concern would be your opinion.
So Mirakai would at least, because they are familiar, they at least have that connection to me. So if Poppy is in any distinct danger, that would be the concern. If Poppy is off going to someplace, then Rune can't stop Poppy from doing that. She's an adult. As much as he might want to just shove her in a box and protect her. Or, a mansion in a pocket dimension somewhere, and he's not going to do that though. It would. It's really just based on whether Poppy is safe, as in armed, or if she's being accosted, kidnapped for a chance. In which case, hell will be paid.
Yeah. No, an agent of hell, but that would be your brother.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he will let his family go off and do as they see fit. That being said, how long has he been in his little home? Having moments about what happened in the Maelstrom, trying to remember what happened afterwards, and to be honest, he's been crying. Let's be fair. He's had some shit going on.
Or
and he ruined his friend's wedding. I mean, how much worse could that be?
Yeah. I want to ask, Ravenswood, do you think they're wondering where you are right now? Do you think they're thinking about you?
Oh, I mean, if Rune is coming up in their conversation, I suspect a feeling from Mirakai would be to approach or arrive in some fashion. In which case, he would get himself cleaned up with some magic, breaking his own rule in his own magnificent mansion, and summarily exit and dimension door to their location, or nearby, so as not to startle them too much.
Yeah, I'll ask them Sailix. You don't think Rune is listening in on you, so the question is, do you say anything about him? Anything to say about Rune? Yeah, go ahead.
As he's spinning to and fro with Dorf, he kind of at one point like kind of extends him out in a spin, pulls him back. It's like, you know, Rune was much better at dance partner than you. So he kind of
probably got more practice than I do.
Moving back and forth, and he's like, almost drops him. He's like,
whoa!
He grabs him last minute by his wrist and pulls him back up.
Waldorff is just laughing hysterically.
Sitting him down, Sailix kind of grasps the side of Waldorff's face. Where is my wizard? I'm done playing with you, dwarf that's an elf. I want...
Yeah, my master is off talking to family.
Okay.
Sailix will glare up at Corvus. He's like, his family just strode out of here and down the road without him.
They're the Ravenswoods. What do you expect?
Listen to the bard. Knows what he's talking about. He does.
A Ravenswood is always where it needs to be when it needs to be there. That's what Rune says.
I don't like it. So he blinked away, and then he's like, blinks kind of back behind Dwarf.
No, don't do that. You give me the willies.
You...
Did you need me to pass a message, Angel?
Nice, the wrong gun.
Sailix kind of grabs his head like this and leans over for a brief second, and his eyes are wide with what Corvus could probably easily tell is terror written across his face as he looks up. It's like the voices are just too loud.
Corvus will fly down to perch on Sailix's shoulder, and only in Sailix's head. Don't worry, Angel. Ravenswood's got you covered. Let's focus on my voice now, eh?
Waldorff boops his nose. Boop.
His tensions ease a little bit at the spoken words of Corvus's voice. Right. I suppose Rune needs a break, even from me.
Yeah, he just needs a break in general. Been wanting to talk to Ronan for a bit, ever since he left, really.
I don't like Ronan, Corvus. I don't trust him.
Ronan's a Ravenswood. They'd never hurt each other.
I'd like to think the same thing. But wonders
Thanks,
never
Waldorff.
cease to amaze.
Fuck you too. Oh, I completely agree,
Waldorff
Angel.
is like,
Ronan's a very scary bloke,
Very
he is, but, he's family. I've known him since he was a wee tyke, I did. Well, more of a mid-tyke.
Sailix kind of flies up to the top of the ballroom. Are there any, like, is there any glass in the ceiling?
In the ceiling of this hall, yes, there is. It's renovated from the tavern you visited with the Vesperin on the morning after that fateful night where Rune fucked you over a little bit, left you stranded in
Isn't
Cypress
this a
Point.
shame, man?
Yeah, it was
As
left vacant
Sailix
when everyone in Cypress Point died. But yeah, there's this open glass dome ceiling.
As Sailix rises to the dome ceiling, he speaks several words in a language that probably sounds even foreign to Corvus's ears. The only name he could tell is the name of Sailix's mother that he utters. As the glass ceiling starts to shine with a holy light before breaking apart into sand.
Pocket sand.
As Sailix flies up through the now open roof.
Waldorff tips over backwards as he watches Sailix fly up, and now he's laying on his back, giggling.
Looking up at the stars, Waldorff, I'll ask, do you feel like you have a mission? Do you feel like you have a purpose? At least that's what you hear ringing in your head. Maybe a passing thought, or a whim, or a memory, but
I haven't really thought about it much.
Rune spins around you. You're dizzy, of course. I mean, anybody who drank that much, save for maybe a dwarf, I mean, that did knock somebody out. And you're feeling proper knocked out. But where would you go in the morning? What would you do?
Waldorff would likely take a bit of the hair of the dog that bit him. Find the closest pint or stein of alcohol and down the contents, probably without truly checking to see what it was first, which could end poorly. And then he would likely just start looking around to see if he spots anybody. It's kind of aimless, you know. Big headache. But, I mean, nothing that he's never dealt with before.
Right.
He'd look
Rune,
up
where?
to see if he could spot Sailix or anybody.
Right. Sailix, where are you headed?
Sailix spent the last few hours after he exited out of the top of the building, flying really high up above the clouds with Corvus. Just kind of, as he's watching the light of the moon kind of cascade over the top of the clouds, he just kind of has moments of lucidity where he just kind of has a familiar tone of being up here, and then others where he's stark raving fucking mad, either crying, screaming, or something of the like.
Okay. Those bouts. It's quite nice out here, but you do see some familiar faces. I mean, of course, there's your crew, the Phoenix Guard, who became the Planner Guard, your closest knit band of survivors of the Maelstrom. Not everybody survived. Mages, most, if not all, died. A lot of the Phoenix Guard died, and to Sailix, nobody died. Because nobody did die. As nobody would betray you. So you killed nobody. She died in the Maelstrom. When you're out here, the gust of wind, it sounds like sand in the breeze again. But it's not the sand that gets under your skin. It's not the sand itself. It's the wandering. Trying to figure out where to go. I mean, if you knew where the Triad was, maybe it would be better. But there's just kind of that lostness. Rune, either of your familiars will tell you that Ronan is outside, wandering in the early fall breeze here in Cypress Point. What do you do?
Rune will dimension door nearby, not to startle him, but just to get there fairly quickly. And come around the corner. Ronan.
Turning. Sometimes Ronan's gaze seems... How would you describe it? As if he were blind.
Menacing?
He would turn ahead, but the eyes wouldn't move to search you, to look for you. Eventually he'd settle and find your gaze. He'd looking you in the eye, both eyes this time.
Yeah. Hello, Ronan.
Hi.
Oh, you were here. I wanted to say hello before you left again.
Why would you have anything to say to me?
Brother Ronan. I always want to see you. Why would you think otherwise?
He's dismissive. I see you've left something of a warpath, even on your return. They made an infirmary of the bathhouse. Glad to see you're back.
Ravenswood, I guess. Hope so. Curse of Rune Ravenswood, apparently. Always leave destruction in my wake.
And what have I destroyed? You bring that name like it's the debt we all pay. What has Poppy destroyed? What of me? What did Mother destroy?
Rune winces. I don't mean to put any of this on any of you. You thought I did. I'm sorry. I wanted to apologize for everything, really.
It's not mended
Don't expect it
with
to
an
be.
apology. You're
Everyone
scratching not
assumes I'm-
even the surface.
Ronan, I'm not trying to fix anything I've broken. I want to, but it's not. I only try and fix what people want me to try and fix. All I can do is look at my brother and say I'm sorry. If you need me to do anything, I will certainly try. If you never want to see me again, I understand.
No. No, I'll see you again. We're tied.
You- Tied.
Fatefully. Slightly, he'll
I think.
wrap you on the shoulder. No. Our fates, they weave together. Snakes, constrictors. Who's the prey? Who's to say, but you carry a deed to Armiger land.
That deed was given to me, Ronan.
Friend of mine, Alex Dagram, you know him. You've met.
How is he?
He's quite well.
Good.
He told me of the conflict, the struggle at the Citadel. If I remember correctly, he helped you take it back.
The reverse, actually, is true. He laid claim and we helped him.
And yet, the deed is in a Ravenswood name.
Yeah, it is. Because Alex put my name there.
It's quite interesting.
It is.
The arrangement, the timing. I knew him before we met. Before we became friends, he showed me the Order of the Nail. I didn't buy it until things got difficult. We were in debt, Rune. To pay for school. You ring a bell?
Yeah, it rings a bell.
I think I'm done with this for now.
Right, Ronan.
Be in Kintargo.
Boy, it is good to see you again.
Likewise. You'll say that part. Inchelish Infernal, which is a mixture of Taldane and Infernal. It's common in Cheliax. Usually you just use it to swear. Maybe farmers talk throughout the land, but he'll stride off, leaving you sort of alone in the night. Middle of Cypress Point. What do you do?
Rune will take his time and walk back to the reception building if it's still going on, or wherever the large group is at.
Yeah.
There's a stone that skitters from somewhere behind you.
Rune turns. Very lackadaisical, just tired. Who's there?
You know who's that, wizard.
Who is it this evening? Vesperin? Aaron? I believe you're Aaron now. Yeah.
Indeed. She kind of jumps down from one of the nearby rooftops and just lands like gracefully on her feet. She is dressed in more of her regular roguish leather attire rather than the wedding clothes that she was wearing earlier.
Wedding night over.
To you. You know how it is. No rest for those of us who are wicked. I assume that is why you are up.
Ever the wicked one here.
I have very many questions to ask you, Rune. Starting with, what in the actual fuck?
If I may start real quick before you barrage me with your series of questions and curiosities. I want to most sincerely and to you personally apologize for everything I've done.
She just,
And he
yeah.
does look, the look on his face is just, it's sadness and just concern and weariness.
Rune, it was not just the wedding that you interrupted. Did you take note, perchance, of who was present among the guests?
Seemed to be a host of nobility and royalty.
Yes.
Mainly from the elven nations, if memory serves.
Exactly. Because this was not just a wedding. This is cementing an alliance, a unified nation of elves, to see to it that Telesantri remains free, for so long as Her Majesty wishes it to be. But more importantly, Rune, it was my opportunity to wear a fantastic hat and have everybody looking at me. But they weren't looking at me, Rune. They were looking at the fucking vortex in the fucking sky! By the way, this is for you. And she will hand him a rolled up piece of parchment. It has, in a very official series of texts, outlining a few town ordinances specifically related to unregistered and unlawful demonstrations with ravens upon city property. It is approximated that there were, let me find my thing, hang on a second, that there were 5,623 times 5 gold pieces per unauthorized raven appearance, amounting to a fine of 28,115 gold pieces. You should be aware, Rune, that in the town of Cypress Point, you need to have a permit for your ravens. However, you know...
Is that each one or just in general?
Each one. But I know a guy.
Right.
But, you know, it would require you to go a bit under the table, as you say. And I know how touchy you get about, you know, when I engage in behaviors that are not exactly lawful or above board. So, you know, I wouldn't want to put you in that sort of position.
Do you think me breaking this law bothers me?
I think it is a great sum of money.
I mean, I can pay it if it's legitimate.
It has an official seal.
I mean, you are the consort to the queen, so I'm not overly surprised by that part.
Oh, no. The queen is Queen Mayor of Telesantri. This city
I
under the sea.
understand
This
that.
is Cypress Point. She does not rule here.
Ah, well, connections are always connections. Regardless, I'll either pay this or have the Lord Mayor of Cantargo take care of it for me.
That'll be an interesting conversation.
I mean, she owes me a favor.
She just kind of looks bemused at that comment, and once again, very smug. But there are two things. The first is that I did not expect to once again see you defying the laws of gods and man to create this abomination of a new body for yourself. And I would like you to answer me honestly. Are you in control, Rune? Or is it in control of you?
Well, firstly, I don't know what it is in this particular instance. So I'm going to have to go with, yes, I'm in control.
You
best
and
of my
I
knowledge.
both know exactly what I am talking about. I have seen into the deepest depths of your soul. I have seen that darker side of you that you wish to remain hidden. I know the source of some of your powers, and that you still have those powers is not something that can be easily ignored. So once again, are you in control, or is it?
I believe you're muted.
That
At the worst
part that
possible
you saw
time.
of me.
I
Yeah.
know.
The part that you saw of me back in Dreamgate so long ago. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not trying to hide it. If anything, I'm trying to embrace it, understand it, figure it out. You see, magic in all its destructive and nurturing, primal, and horrific power, it's just magic. Every one of us wants to destroy. Every one of us wants to heal, protect, to scare and influence. Look at the Vesperin. Networking for the last 6 weeks to become the consort of a queen. Likely part of the arrangement of elven nations. Everyone wants
gives
power
him a
and
look
influence.
of, yeah.
That part that you saw, it is me. I make no qualms about that. Whatever it is you're referencing now, whatever that thing everyone keeps saying they saw before I came back, I know not what that is. I don't know where it came from, and I don't know what it wants. But whatever it is, it has no hold on me now. I am in Ravenswood, and that is all.
So when you mentioned that it had been 6 weeks, she gives this look of like the fuck. But when he finishes, she looks kind of like her face takes on a more neutral sort of mask of emotions, and I really wish that you had not answered that way. What scared me in that gate wasn't the power that you wielded. It was the recklessness, the arrogance, the pure, unbridled ambition without any sort of care for consequence or the world around you. There was a time when I compared you to the child playing with fire who left unsupervised would burn our fucking house down. It sounds like you wish to further go into burning our fucking house down.
In that gate, you saw half of me. You saw the unbridled power that was necessary to wield the energies that were flowing through the gate in order to beat back the Aboleth and bring you back. What you didn't see was the other side of her, the one that cares and loves for each and every one of his friends, the one that would do anything to ensure they're all safe and protected, you included, Aaron. So yes, you saw the unbridled passion of someone seeking pure power. You did not see that the one who fought so hard against the goddess of death to bring back one of his own. When you put those two together, you have me. Someone who seeks power, desperately wants it, but understands the danger it is to those around him.
And then you haven't learned anything, have you? Because yes, you brought Modica back, but at what cost? What a cost that you did to me.
You're right.
I have accepted.
It was a lesson learned.
So that is why, again, are you in control of that part of yourself? Or is it in control of you?
No.
Is it?
No, Aaron. I am Rune Ravenswood. The unbridled wizard, always worrying about hurting his friends.
And that brings me to the next part. It's been well over a year since we last parted. And I had sworn to myself that I had cried all the tears that I was going to for Sailix. But seeing him as he is now, it hurts me very deeply. More than I can describe. And if you fucking tell him, I will kill you. I asked you to safeguard him. And he has returned more shattered than he was when he left. And she just kind of like slumps kind of helplessly, like not even sure how to ask, like, what what do I even?
We were sailing through the maelstrom, and like all good situations the Unforgotten find themselves in, there was a war between law and chaos, in the truest of sense. The law-abiding Valkyries had found themselves in the maelstrom, fighting against the Proteans of the maelstrom. In the fight, some of the crew were knocked off the boat. Sailix wanted to go rescue them, as he is wont to do. Everything seemed, as always, par for the course. What was not taken into account, however, was the fact that the realm of the Mad God had arrived. And with it came a force that Sailix apparently could not pull against. And he found himself on the labyrinth island of Nethys. Now, I know that time between planes can be tricky. This was the first time I had ever seen the same plane, the same area, have such two drastically different time frames. A mere hour or two had passed, I think, and it had been somewhere in the range of a decade or 14 years. Sailix? I had no idea. I had no frame of reference. I went as soon as I realized that I couldn't communicate with him through the telepathic bond. That's when I knew something was wrong. So I went as soon as I could. By then it was too late. He had done what Sailix always does. Fights to find his way out. In this particular instance, he chose to use me. Which is fair. It is my fault after all. But he chose to use me. To call for me to rescue him. Sailix went for 14 years, if I recall correctly, and murdered somewhere in the range of 500, 732 some odd followers of Nethys. All the while, spreading my symbol and my name. Trying to find his way out.
She just kind of, like, blinks and then starts laughing. If you are the child playing with fire, Sailix is that fire. You cannot get upset or angry when it spreads out of control and burns your house down. What am I going to do with the both of you?
Well, if you're smart, you'd run.
But that does not solve my problems, does it?
No,
Nor does
but
it
at least
help
you're farther
either of
away
you.
from it. Yeah, I'm not sure anything can help us at this point.
The fire always burns everything. It is consuming.
Yeah. Ravenswood and the Angel. Burning everything they walk past.
Well, I will just have to be the water then, no?
Oh, it's a good thing you're a sea elf.
That was terrible. I should have you fined for that as well.
Sure, you'll figure it out.
Gracias will, I imagine. But,
Oh yeah, how's the old captain?
you probably shouldn't talk to him. Not on this night. This was, the night that, well, I suppose you wouldn't know, no, would you?
Or what?
Gracius's husband and his entire crew were murdered when we slammed into the Dream Gate. He was the only survivor. And it was on your command that all of that happened. He holds you responsible. And today is the anniversary of that.
My command. What?
So, don't talk to him for a few days.
What do you mean it was under my command? I don't... Alright, yeah, of course. I'll hide away in my little mansion.
I imagine as the contingent starts to leave, we will probably want to go back to Citadel, see how everything is.
I need to go back
Figure
there.
out how to fix Waldorff?
That
A visible
is
interruption.
a problem I haven't even conceived of trying to solve yet.
Rippling across the sky, the form of a halo will produce the
Oh,
silhouette of an angel in the distance, just wandering about. You can see your little raven in tow, just pulsing, no direction, no reason, just chaos.
Rune will briefly check in with Corvus to figure out what the hell Sailix is doing. At which point, Corvus will check in with Sailix, going, "Hey, Sailix, my master wonders what the hell you're doing."
I'm an artist at work, Corvus. Tell him to view
Sailix,
the
you're flying around like a
full
fly.
picture.
You're
The
buzzing.
full picture, bird. The full picture.
You do know it's a night sky. No one can see anything, right?
With when he says it's a night sky, no one can see anything. Sailix cast where is that? Oh, Flame Strike, going upwards, which casts the whole night sky in a eerie golden red light that ignites in the forefront of these clouds that Sailix has flew and thrown. Rune sigil.
Oh, for fuck's sake. My master passes along his exasperated expletives.
tell him you're welcome.
No, I won't do that. Rune will look at Vesperin. I think Sailix misses me. I'm not sure why.
Because you are his anchor, obviously. Please stop him from burning down my fucking town.
The fire's pointed upward. It should be fine. I will put out any fires that appear in your... I will put out any fires that appear in Cypress Point. If anyone burns down, just blame me. Everyone will anyway. But yes, we need to return to the Citadel. I have equipment that I need to remake.
Your new eye looks good.
Apparently I have both of them. In a while.
Depth perception. It has to be nice, no?
It's new again. So there's that. And again, just a quick reminder, both of his eyes now are this sort of deep purple color. Previously they were like a pure amber.
Does the, did you choose the color to better match your outfit, or?
So, I didn't know I died. Well, I'm gonna guess no. I didn't choose anything about what you see before you.
How could you not know that you died? I have died so many times. I knew every fucking time.
Well, when you're trying to transport a ship with about 40 people through the plains, you get a bit preoccupied with everything else going on. And then there's just a blinding light, and then you wake up. I didn't know I died. I didn't feel anything. For all I know, I wasn't even dead.
She just, like, sighs exasperatedly, like, you know, like the,
Really?
yeah.
The immortal elf is gonna sigh at me for not staying dead?
That is also your fault, and you know it.
Clearly you're having a good time with it, so you're welcome.
Oh yes. Again, it is my wedding day. I get to do what I want. That's how this works.
Oh, yes, of course. Is there a wedding gift you'd like?
She, kind of, looks like she's going to quip something clever in response initially. And then kind of instead quietly looks down and out towards the sea.
There is nothing that you could give me.
Well, maybe there's something you'd like.
I already got to have a year of happiness. That's more than most.
Who did you lose, Aaron?
It is not a conversation for tonight.
And she would start to head back towards the buildings.
As she walks away, a constable of ravens sort of appear along the pathway.
I'm
Add that to
going
my
to get
bill.
fined for those.
Cocky are we, dear wizard.
Actually, that reminds me. Hang on a second. Let me look it up. Gosh. So she would pause on that and turn around to look at Rune and say, "One more thing, wizard. In Cantargo's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh." That is all. And then she leaves.
Oh, sea shanty. How well timed, Rune. A ship named in your honor fell out of the sky, and there's another ship at port here in Cypress Point, named against your existence. So she leaves you with a shanty. Ponder that one. Rune, I take it you head back to the manor for the night.
Yeah, he does, as long as he checks in with Corvus to make sure Sailix is generally alright. As long as he's not going to make anything else explode, he'll return to his manor, yeah.
Yeah. Sailix will continue to do what Sailix does. Waldorff is passed out on the dance floor. All it took was him looking up at Sailix's ascent, and that was enough to conk him out for the entire night. The Vesperin does what the Vesperin does, and Sailix, I take it you wander a bit. In the morning...
Before you, can I just appreciate how we now have a Waldorff Sky Steel? Thank you very much.
We do have a Waldorff Sky Steel. Huh. Funny. Who did that?
Our incredibly handsome and wonderful tech.
Not doing it again. No more dumplings. So, actually, yeah, we'll start with you. Waldorff, you awaken to a beam of sunlight. The city is back to its work, its innovation, its commotion. You're quite hungover. I need you to make me a fortitude save, Waldorff. And what do you do? You're muted. You've got a 32 on that check. 31?
Kind of head down towards the water with the intent of just splashing some cold seawater in his face and trying to wake up a bit. And when he does so, he is reminded once again that he has no beard and he is no longer a dwarf for the time being, much to his surprise. Again, he wakes up thinking it was just a liquor dream of some kind. But yeah, he, through his aching head, kind of dunks himself in the ocean and then returns to where the festivities were in an effort to track down some breakfast to settle his churning stomach.
Yeah.
eggs.
This bright morning,
Eggs.
you had. Yeah, you smell eggs actually. Maybe cooking meat as you're down by the water, Cypress Point. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. You'll hear a voice, a friend of yours. You did not wake up with egg in hand, or chicken in tow, or water tower beneath you, but a familiar voice.
First.
I think you're muted. Promise I'm not doing
Holy
this to people.
shit, Sky Steel. Can you stay one race long enough for me to catch up?
Gosh, not so loud.
Sailix lands in front of him and grabs one of his tusks and kind of drags his face around. You're a god's damn orc.
Wait. You're full of it. Has he got him by one of these?
Yeah.
There's a tusk. He's grabbed a tusk.
You're full. What the bloody hell? Oh. Well, look, that is my skin like green.
Yeah, Waldorff, you look in your reflection. Sure enough, you see a green pigmentation to your posture, even taller than before. You got the musculature of a dwarf, but your sway is even heavier.
See, I would argue then that the hangover probably wouldn't be so bad considering orcish constitution.
No, and I'll tell you, you've got your beard back.
Oh, that's nice. Well, you know, this is going to get to be a wee bit confusing for me after a while, I suppose. But I'm grateful for your letting me know. I don't suppose there are many other orcs around here, are there?
Look, Sky Steel. Consider this a
How did you
professional
know
courtesy.
it was me?
Because you stink. And he pushes him back into the water.
Ah! Splash.
He's just kind of like hovering above the water. It's just kind of like tiptoeing. I don't know what it was that you drank last night, but you smell exactly the same.
To be perfectly honest, I don't remember either.
Sailix kind of like hunches down on his knees and he looks over.
Oh, that's...
It smells of booze and disappointment.
Oh, so you should be familiar with that smell yourself, eh? Is what you're saying.
Only when I wake up next to your mother.
Oh,
And he boops his nose.
low, lad.
And he's like, I wonder how Poppy's
I
going to
can't
feel
say
about this
anything
one.
bad about your mother. She's a lovely woman. That's just not fair.
The loveliest woman.
That's a one-sided fight.
Rising from the
I can't even
water.
come back with it. But your father's probably fair game if you knew who he was.
At that jest, Sailix's whole demeanor changes. Rage flashes over his face as he looks
Waldorff
down
immediately
to
just
Waldorff.
dunks under the water. Like, oh shit.
Under the water. Pulling you up. A Nacre Warden of the Order of the Albatross rises from the water. A stern look. And he plants you gently on the shore, giving you a chance to pretend your hiding in the water was a mistake. He stands you up. The way he looks at Sailix tells you he was searching. Lavendel.
Sea elf.
Hello.
The god touched. Requires your
water fetched.
presence. I wasn't referring to you.
I wasn't referring to
squints.
you. As Sailix squints at Waldorf.
Waldorf,
Cove of Dreams.
no.
Sailix
sort
kind
of
of like
nods.
walks past.
Damn it.
Sailix kind of walks past him, like ignoring his presence, and he's like, "Don't flatter yourself, Sea Elf. No one cares about your existence." Lifting up Waldorf.
Don't pay him any mind. He's just not.
If Vesper needs me, she can send a message of where to meet her.
Just dead. Is it dead? Oh. Oh, you mean?
I'm
that
merely
was
to inform you.
okay.
Any important elf would be there. That's your choice, Sir Lavendel.
Sailix scoops
He'll head to Dreamgate.
Waddle Sky Steel into his arm. He's like, and he looks down at the orc that he's holding. It's like,
You make me feel
guess
just
it's a
like a
good-
wee girl.
I guess it's a good thing I'm not just any elf. As he tells Sky Steel, because I'm not going to get Waldorf down. As he looks down
Fresh.
to the orc in his arms, and he's like, hold your breath. This part
Oh,
is
shit.
always unsettling. As he starts to blink in and out of existence towards the dream gate.
Waldorf literally like pinches his nose. And scrunches his face up like a kid.
Perfect. Eventually reappear. You are at the foot of Dreamgate. The Vesperin rune. Every
Rune
type
in
of
an
elf
old-
you've ever seen.
Old outfit.
Yeah.
Waldorf looks even greener around the gills, if possible. From the teleporting.
Why is there a fucking orc here? Who is that? No offense.
She asks quickly.
Oh, no, none taken, lass. I understand
Sail-
your confusion completely.
Sailix
Imagine my
just
surprise
set-
when I woke up this morning looking like this.
Sailix doesn't set him down as much as he just kind of tosses him to the ground. This
Rue just looks Waldorf up and down. Well,
You
Waldorf,
can't be a
is that
little more
you?
gentle.
You are
Last time a
considerably
chick
greener
won.
and uglier than you were yesterday.
You have
Thank you
tusks,
for saying that.
and you're not an elf,
I'm of the...
nor are you a dwarf.
No, I'm not.
He was
And
quite
Waldorf,
dashing
what-
yesterday.
What happened?
I'm still quite dashing to the Orkin ladies, I'm sure.
No, you. But you're so green, and there's that odor.
It's a nice shade of green.
Waldorf,
I mean,
I'm
if
sorry.
you
I'll
consider
figure out what's going
vomit
on. and-
Nice. I don't, but I'm sure there are some. I don't want to,
I've
you know,
cleaned off.
kink shame or nothing.
I'm... Waldorf just kind of slumps and he's like just taking the ridicule. He's like, it's
I'm
not
sorry.
my fault.
Bruno,
Look
kneel
at your
down.
wizard here. And
Yeah, no,
I'm sure
no.
it's
I know
something
it's
to
not
do
your
with him.
fault, Waldorf. It's his fault. She pointed
Are
rude.
we victim shaming now?
Whoa!
No, again, it's
Sailix.
his fault.
Sailix walks in front of the room. Let's not put the blame carelessly on the wizard. I feel like it is Waldorf's fault. In some way,
Yes,
shape, or form.
because-
I'm not
What bloody
sure.
did I do?
Because we all know that of the party,
Waldorff is the master of arcane magics and, tempting fates of gods and man and all of that. Waldorff.
Well,
I mean,
that sounds just... See, Vesperin said it, so it must be true. You are a master of arcane arts and magic, so you have made yourself into an orc. Skysteel, enjoy your new existence.
I wiggle my fingers at
Being
Sailix
sarcastic.
in the waggle fingers kind of fashion.
Sailix,
Waldorff,
Is anything
use
happening?
Waldorff, I will find an answer. I'll figure out what's going on.
It's not working.
It's more you have to, it's less the waggle of fingers and more about concentric patterns of fingers.
Oh. I'll just leave that to you then, Lon.
Probably a wise move.
Generally speaking, this is hard to talk. Like,
Aaron, if you'd be so kind as to
look at
open the
these
gate.
tusks.
So she kind of ignores Rune
Real-
and looks at the contingent of yes. Just sort of taking scope of, who's there and if everybody's ready.
Yeah. About a dozen elves from all walks of life. See, Kuja, elf or two, Kayan, an elf or two, an elf from the sea, an elf from the Mordant Spire. Talstrin and another Naker Warden guard the entrance to Dreamgate, as is their job of late.
There is also a wasp queen in her full regalia with a set of ornamental keys at her waist and long dark hair,
Indeed.
who seems to guard the verdant queen.
The Verdant Queen's here? You're telling me the Queen of Keonan is here?
Well, are we making a scene, Sailix? Because,
This...
you would recognize
Because-
that. Yeah.
So, the little bit of Sailix's backstory that I did write entwined with the Verdant Queen as the guard of her right hand before he ran away.
Ooh, that's dramatic. Then I imagine
Oh, that's
if
awkward.
that's the case, the wasp queen is side-eyeing you the most.
Yeah, the Verdant Queen pays no mind to you, Sailix. This is business. This is a small cut of what is very important time. The Queen's hand. This is such an important secret. I do want to highlight, though, Rune, this would be every important elf receiving confirmation of the existence of a rumor. This is an urban legend. The Dreamgate was. But it seems like you have moments before it no longer will be. Do you have any concerns, dear wizard?
Oh, if you did, it wouldn't matter. Vesperin's already laid this plan out.
Interesting. Yeah.
I just want to say, Sailix is hidden behind Rune, kind of ducked down, trying to keep his face unvisible or unseeable from the others. Like, just, this is a bad idea, wizard. This is a bad idea. We should get out of here. We should leave. Me and you, I'll take you into my arms and we'll fly out of that cave entrance right over there. Just say the word and
Couldn't
you
agree
do
more.
the birds.
This is in fact a bad idea, and completely undermines the Unforgotten. But it is out of our hands now.
So yeah,
Sailix will
That's where it
whisper
looks as
just
though-
to
okay.
Rune. Sorry. Sailix whispers just a rune. It's like, we can kill them all.
I feel like they're doing this like behind the orc, like trying to hide surreptitiously like behind Waldorff while they're having this conversation, and Waldorff is just trying to look inconspicuous.
Rune, make me an Arcana check.
Don't mind if I do.
Vesperin, this queen is here at the sole request that nobody makes a big deal of it. She's a pair of eyes. That's all she wants to be noted for here. But your queen is here. Vinarin. You can make a perception check to catch some of those whispers, but she asks before this dream gate endeavor to speak with you privately in a quiet corner of the cove.
That's terrible.
Rune on that Arcana. Do you want to make a hero point on that, dear wizard?
Sure.
All right. Okay. Okay.
And yeah, I guess while they're having their conversation, then she'll let herself be pulled aside.
All right. She approaches you. My love. If we go through with this, there's no turning back. Until we step through, it's a rumor. Legend.
They have a right to know. This is how all of us came to be, and that it has been hidden, that it has been denied to them, that we have been kept apart and separated for so long. Having it, just knowing that it exists, that it is real, it creates hope. It builds on those dreams and promises that we can be one people again. And I believe, or at least I want to believe in that dream more than I want to believe in whatever wickedness or selfish aims. But I think everyone knows what is at stake and how important it is to keep something so sacred safeguarded.
And she would kind of take her hands and, in both of hers and, like, give a, kiss to her knuckles or whatever. Are you ready?
Yes. Her eyes widen. You hear a whoop. The beginning of a spell causes reverberation. Rune, describe what you're doing here.
Rune, standing just watching, having no staff or anything else, draws a pattern around him, and in a puff of feathers, so to speak, disappears.
Is it just him, or...
It is just him.
Just him.
Now, to Sailix, Orvis says, "It'll be alright, don't worry," in his head.
I feel like Vesper, looks at Sailix and Waldorff with that look of, what the fuck? Are you seriously going to fuck this up already? thinking of my wedding wasn't enough.
You've
Like, she
never
doesn't
seen
say that
an
out
orc
loud,
try
but
to
that's
look
all
so
in that
small.
glare.
Oh, well, Vesper, what do you do?
I feel like she's just like again, she has Rin's hands in both of hers still, and is sort of frozen in that like, what in the actual fuck? What the fuck did the wizard do? And like, she'd like look at the, anybody to answer the question.
So Sailix is shaking very violently as he looks around at the people gathered, and he's like, I don't want to be here. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't want to be here. His wings spread, becoming full view. A pale bluish light shines out from around him as a halo erupts around his head. Memoria.
Sailix?
And a runic circle opens around his feet, and he disappears.
Now, for context, Waldorff and Vesperin, you'll know the plan ahead of the battle with Vishumarix. What now feels like a lifetime ago. Rune strategically conducted a ritual. Weeks ahead, it wasn't used. A backup plan. Utter a word, you return to the Citadel. You get to use it once. Some of you used it to convene, to meet. Sailix did not use it. He waited. It works anywhere on a plane. Likely he would have used it had he not been in the Maelstrom. He hasn't had the chance until now. But you know, when he said the name of Citadel Memoria, he traveled to it. Immediately, he's moved across, back over to Breach Hill. Waldorf and the Vesperin, you are both still at Dreamgate. Vesperin, you imagine you might have some time before whatever they're doing. It's the fan. I want to ask you two what you do in this moment, in this brief moment.
I feel like she would sort of briskly look like everything is fine, given that this is a very precarious political situation. Pray fervently, considering two of the goddesses in her pantheon are about luck. Pray fervently that they're not going to do something awful. For Rin, like, the grip that was relaxed on her hands is now that, like, very, like, tight, like, I am holding it together. And, like, very much under her breath, she's just like, I am gonna fucking kill them if they so much as ruin this too on top of my fucking wedding. We can consider that a war crime, right?
So
otherwise, yeah.
So you have a window. You can still access this side of the gate. You don't know even if he could deactivate it. Would you go by yourself with Skysteel or with the group? What would you do? What's the best thing to do here?
She would take the group. hoping again that things haven't gotten fucked up. Because she's trying to pretend like things are normal.
As is Waldorff. Waldorff is, shares that look with the Vesperin briefly, like, I'm still here. I know that I'm not exactly what you wanted, but I'll be helpful. I hope.
She kind of gives
just
Waldorff that
big tusky
awkward
grin,
pat of everything's fine, right, buddy?
and I'll help you hide their bodies later.
Oh my God.
As you walk in, I mean, the elves will, not suspecting anything to have gone wrong, they'll follow you immediately. But what do they see? The way station is a dream, so it's whatever you need it to be. But it is minimally about 100 feet long before you can stretch it, shake it.
Because it's her dream, again, it's like that big ocean space, but anyone can breathe the water. And, there's just sort of like, it's not just a single hue of azure, it's like all different sorts of colors sort of like bleeding and merging together. There's, like dolphins or ocean sunfish or whatever that you can like grab onto to like take you the rest of the way if you're not a swimmy type person. And indeed, she sort of like offers like some sort of like magnificent seahorse type creature to her wife to like take to the next spot. For Waldorff, she would get like a funny looking pufferfish. And like maybe like a little bastion of sea turtles.
The one that sticks around is the one that gets
so
to be
cute. It's so cute though. It's so cute. Like it's all round and like the spines don't hurt because they're like more like nubs. But it's the cutest thing ever.
He quickly makes friends with his pufferfish.
Oh, entirely. Like it is obviously like a support pufferfish.
You and me, Puffy. It's fine. We'll stick together.
Make your way along. You get the feeling that it's not going to give way on the other side. Along this dreamlike way station, this port to a land across the world. It's shut, and it's blocked from being opened from the side of Breach Hill. Vesperin.
Even with the key?
Something about the stone, perhaps. Its signal is being stifled with some other artifact. It's enough to keep it from allowing passage. You could enter. Signal wasn't strong there, but someone is keeping you from crossing through. Rune, you may manifest here if you like. But there's a strange feeling.
I mean, can I go through it or not?
The dream is being interrupted by the ghost of a nightmare, maybe. Stone isn't necessarily a nightmare stone, it's just what's left. It's like the night terror that doesn't scare you. But it's a nightmare nonetheless, and those things, they hold each other hostage. The signal isn't strong enough to slip through. Vesperin, you have a chance to use Detect Magic here to really point the key in effect here and to sort out what's happening. And of course, the rest of the dream is up to you to sort out. If you wish to really entertain the guests as they're exploring this world between worlds, it doesn't look like anyone's coming to explain themselves to you. But go ahead.
Yeah, she would do Detect Magic, and I imagine at this point, like, she's mastered the dream enough to basically create, like, a Walt Disney Resort style thing with, like, different worlds for people to, like, pop into if they feel like it.
Right.
You know, probably, like, again, to keep with, like, the trippy idea of just this ocean or whatever, like, these different spaces are in these giant bubbles of, like, you know, here's the realm made of candy in a bubble, and, like, here's, you know, the world of hookers and blow in a bubble. And, like, you know, it's still a Vesperin.
Now, Waldorff, before you wander too off to the destination
Hookers and blow.
of the ladder, blowing bubbles, right? That were underwater. Just to keep us above water here on Twitch. Vesper, do you notice something? It rings true the same way your key does. A planar key. You're familiar now. A gate key being the dream stone. You've interacted with that before, and then a tuning fork like you have with the glass to manner. But now you feel something similar. Skysteel, he has a key of his own. It's with his belongings. Small slate of metal.
To the dream gate?
No,
or...
This wouldn't be for the dream gate. This is something else entirely, but a strong magical artifact. An artifact.
She
Indeed.
looks at Waldorff and sort of, you know, like, as the guests are wandering off and exploring, and she's like, she sort of grabs Waldorff and is like, so, what's in your pocket, Waldorff?
Excuse me, that's a bit personal, isn't it?
There is something that you have that may be interfering with the magics. We need to go back. Or at least it might be whatever Rune is using to fuck with this place. Which is anathema on so many levels I can't even begin to describe it.
Waldorff would start like patting himself down, trying to figure out what it is that might be interfering or whatever it might be that she's talking about. I mean, can you narrow it down a bit? I don't have much on me.
Can I just
pulls out
pick his
a
pocket?
chisel.
Yeah, because you know where it is before he does. He's searching. You see it.
So, like,
You
she just
detect
literally,
it.
like, you know, it's like one of those things where she just, like, sort of goes, like, what are you talking about? And then it's like the next instant, it's just in her hand, like, and she's like, what is this?
Oh, that's a chisel. Have you never seen a chisel before?
It's not just a chisel. There is something very powerful about it. Or, what do I feel from it?
It's an elven artifact. Elven
No, I
magic.
got this from the dragon, right?
Yeah, you did.
I mean, I picked it up when we were done with that the Schumerix character. I've just been carrying it around with me ever since. Hasn't never caused any problems before.
There is something about it that it is messing with the, I don't even know. It's like a plain device, like...
Right? Like, that's what it is, Ian. I feel it, like, shifting the...
Yeah, it's enough. But the thing is it doesn't seem like it's disrupting the signal itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's creating its own problems. It's a planar key. It shouldn't have been brought here. Maybe something like when you feel a piece of paper get really hot, it doesn't combust.
Okay.
But perhaps it's on the verge. You feel the magical equivalent of that, like something is wrong. This is a piece of pure sodium dropped in the water here.
I'll be having that.
Under other circumstances,
She
this would
kind
be
of,
fine,
like,
but
hands it-
something feels wrong.
She like hands it back to him really quickly. That should not be here.
He snatches
Having
it
that
in his
here
book.
is a danger. We have to get the fuck out of here.
It starts to
How,
burn.
Is there any sort of like guidance coming from the chisel itself as to like what it wants me to do with it? How to
Are you a
use it, how to
praying
utilize it?
cleric, Waldorff?
There are no atheists in foxholes, lad. Yes, he is a praying cleric. He has started praying to Torag directly recently, just as like well, if I'm gonna pick someone, I might as well pick the one at the top of the chain, you know. And so yeah, he says he kind of like, if you know that scene in The Princess Bride where Inigo Montoya is like asking his sword to guide him to where the masked man is. That's what Waldorff is kind of doing. He's kind of like holding it up in front of himself and going like, tell me what to do, where to go, how to use this without
Gotta
blowing
get it out of
everybody up.
here.
Waves seem to sort of intensify.
I'm not entirely sure how I got here in the first place.
Reality takes a couple of ripples, and then suddenly it starts to radiate light, as if it's trying to protect you, maybe from itself. But we'll get back to that.
Well, that's new.
Because over in Alseta's ring, Rune, you're met with Sailix. He appears for the spell. The calling, you've been holding the portal.
Yeah, when Rune lands, he immediately runs over to the gate, slamming the stone against it, attempting to lock it, and just arbitrarily yelling, God damn it, Vesprin! We were the Unforgotten. This was ours to protect. Fucking elves!
Sailix, seeing Rune angry, very much has the demeanor of a child, as he's just kind of like, what are you going to do?
What? Let her show fail with any luck.
Won't she get trapped in there?
No, Herky will let her out. But it's very likely we'll never use this one again.
We're to destroy it.
If necessary.
Appearing from Jewel Gate across this six-portaled chamber, the chair, mobile on turning wheels pushed by an invisible hand, Varys Lavendil, Sailix is your son, that you haven't seen 14 years and change. He hasn't seen you in 1 year and change.
Varys.
We speak of the Vesperin.
We do.
Rune. I've killed him. I've killed him 972 times.
Sailix.
He shouldn't.
Just breathe. Slowly. Varys, were you aware
Where's the Vesperin?
of the Vesperin? Were you aware of the Vesperin sharing the gates? I presume you were.
I've been aware, yes.
Why?
Would you like a dissertation? This is a plan many months in the making. Wizard.
But why?
He looks at Sailix. Father, what's become of you?
Sailix was lost in a mad god's labyrinth for 14 years. He is not well. I will answer those questions. I need to know why.
They have no control over us. Rune.
The moment
She was acting.
that this gate, that this place is known, it is out of our control.
No. You're protected.
They're protected. By what?
Oh, Rune, I don't think you know.
You're right, I don't.
My dearest
so tell
friend.
me.
She.
Leviathan
She's
snaps
keen on
out
the
from
footprint.
Salix's hand into a
Sailix,
scythe.
stop.
Rune,
Put it away.
he's fake. He's fake. He's trying to lead us astray. He's trying
Sailix
to
Lavender,
kill us, Rune.
sit down.
Salix sits.
I don't know what
Finish
you've
your
done with my
sentence,
father.
Paris. Protected how?
Right. There's a pact. No elf assumes dominance over these gates. There's a contract. It's based around you.
How so?
The Citadel. It may not belong to you, not in full, but the future of what lies beneath it, that's you. These elves, scattered for one reason. They're broken. They settled across Galarian. Whatever reason. Because they've left their home. Do you understand Castrovel? Ravenswood?
Astrovel.
You peer up at the sky.
Star. Planet?
Oh. He nods.
What about it?
Well, legend held the elves of the sea came to the sea from the Dream Gate. You follow the legend. Further, it would say the elves came to the gate from Castrovel. Now, the legend is but that. Rumor. They see the dream gate, though. What does that mean? It means we have friends beyond the stars. The moment any elf is greedy enough to lay claim on this citadel, that falls apart. You see the arrangement.
That is all well and good when it comes to the elves. But you're talking about it. Are you attempting to keep a secret amongst a single race? Are you assuming that the knowledge of these gates will never leave the elven tongue?
Strange now, I didn't count the entirety of the elven race. Among invites, 11 souls. Should have been just as many. You should
11
be...
mouths that must stay closed when it comes to these gates. Can you guarantee it?
You have to speak to the Vesperin.
When her show is done, we'll talk.
Do you think any of them would cross her, or you, for that matter? Think
Yeah,
not.
I do. Listen, I believe your legend. It rings true from what I know of these gates. And if you're telling me that the elven race came here from the stars, so be it. These things, these gates, they would lay claim to them. Someone would, regardless of any treaty. People are people, regardless of their race. You can trust only so many to keep to their word. And I trusted the Vesperin to keep to hers. Apparently, I was wrong. So logic only states that one of these other elves will also be wrong. You agree to this?
What makes you think,
Varys?
Rib? Yeah. Well, see, I've the books. I've been here. You're on your adventures. I'm keeping my eyes on Alseta's ring. I know who's been here. I'll show you the list. Would you rather the elves know who's here, or would you rather Isger, Cheliax? How long before Alex Stagram ran his mouth? Or Ronan, for that matter?
All things in time, and for the unforgotten to figure out. Not just two. That is why I'm angry. This was ours, to do with as we saw fit. And the two of you just chose. So fine. Alseta's ring belongs to the elves. Get out of my citadel.
Sailix appears behind Rune and just kind of is like, bye-bye.
Protect it as you see fit. There's Lavendel. You and the Vesperin. But you are not welcome in my citadel. Until such time
As
as we can have a conversation about why we were left out of this plan. Rune will pull
more
away
do you
the
need?
stone. I'll get out of your way to conduct your business now.
we were so close. Rune.
But so far away.
Two.
So close.
2 of 6.
2 of 6. 2 of 6.
The chisel. And Vengegate. That was it.
Talk to Waldorff.
That's all we needed.
Waldorff has a
The
key.
chisel.
We'll let you deal with the
A key?
triad now, apparently.
Sailix looks to Rune, flabbergasted. A key? The triad? Why are we going... Where?
To answer your question,
we go?
there, Sailix was stuck in the realms of Nethys for 14 years. And in that time, Sailix did what Sailix does. He fought to try and get his way out. The Mad God, or the lands of the Mad God, showed him things. And this is what is left for now. He may or may not remember you. Clearly he remembers seeing you, or some vision of you. Regardless, it is why he is the way he is now.
Eris turns slowly to a sound. He wouldn't look Sailix in the eye. He's too hurt and too confused to comprehend where he's been or why he's been gone for so long. But as he turns slowly, surely, a gate begins to rumble. One you've not seen the other side of. Rune. Dusk Gate. It starts to shake, starts to hum. A ring of light slowly assembling around the archway. I'm gonna get back to that, but a moment. Waldorff, your prayer seems to be answered in a way as this thing lights up. The dream is as Vesperin would want to control it, but that won't change the nature of this artifact. It's too powerful. You could put a veil over it, but the danger, it won't cease. What do you do?
I need to get it out of here, I expect. Just like the Vesperin's been screaming at me this entire time.
She hasn't been screaming. She's been speaking tersely.
Mentally screaming.
You see a path begin to form. It pierces the illusion of a dream, like a stone
that way
hallway.
Of dreams, he kind of just follows the path that's laid before him. That sense of like, this is the way I'm meant to go. And as long as it is away from everyone else, especially my new buddy, the pufferfish, definitely gonna kind of follow it like a divining rod down the path that is presented.
It darkens, cracks. It reddens. You find yourself swimming less Striding more, it's still hazy. Just as a dream would be. Vesperin, do you follow or do you stay with your subjects? You could have them
They look.
head back.
Yeah, like if. Yeah, she would tell them to head back and kind of like give, Rin that look of like, please take care of them. To sort out the other stuff.
So you'd have them head back out to the cove. Is that correct?
Yeah. Especially if she has the suspicion that the thing's gonna blow up.
Well, this thing is definitely poking a hole in your dream. Sucking the essence out. There's a strange humming coming from it as well. Sort of just since something is wrong, and it's related, maybe to his chisel. Waldorff, you get a name, the guiding chisel, it's called. You hear a low voice as you walk this hall. Dark stone, a bleak tunnel. The Vesperin is behind you.
If you've ever tried to carry a cat that you know is about to throw up, that's how he's using this chisel. Just like, oh god.
Yeah, and like, to me it's just like, I imagine following, but like has an eye to make sure like the others are getting out safely, but it's just, kind of like, do you feel it? Do you understand? What is it doing, Waldorff?
It's pulling. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just pulling.
I can feel it tearing and corrupting the dream. I don't...
The stifle
It doesn't feel right.
dissolves. You hear a voice coming from the floor, low, furious, draconic. Fall is coming. You've done not much. Through the teeth, Canapish, destruction, the Citadel.
What was that, Ian? You broke up.
The Citadel
Will be mine.
a dragon, a draconic voice at least, calling through, furious, beckoning to Waldorff. But at the end, you see a gate. An entrance to Alseta's ring. Not from Dreamgate. Waldorff, you have the key to it. But the path you took from Dreamgate to whatever this is felt broken. This wasn't a path you should take. This was like a threshold made out of a wall that has been shattered. You can feel the space that binds these pocket dimensions weak and sort of aching. Waldorff, do you clear through to Alseta's ring?
Against my better judgment, yes.
Vesperin, do you follow?
Oh yeah. Fuck it. We're in this together, buddy. She's
Gotta
once
keep
again
moving
praying
forward.
to all the luck goddesses.
Waldorff
That
is
rumbling.
praying to like half the dwarven pantheon right now.
I'll bet.
And a couple of orc gods if he knows them, just for good measure.
Yeah, why not? They're all loosely related.
Well, and
Waldorff.
you never know when your appearance might have something to do with the results.
Maybe. Otherwise, you do appear in the basement of the Citadel. Alseta's ring. Sailix is there. Rune is there. Varys is leaving. He's headed towards the Jewel Gate. Sailix, Rune, you see them appear from Dusk Gate, a gate you've not seen active. What do you do?
Rune gives the most dismissive look and just walks away.
Sailix is rocking back and forth, playing with Leviathan as a spiky ball. As he stands up and he looks towards the two, and he's like, "An angry wizard is bad for business." And he walks after Rune.
How's this a mod celestial? And I don't mean angry.
Where are you headed? Rune?
Oh, okay.
You were muted, Jen.
Well,
Sorry,
actually-
what were you saying? Jen was trying to
What were
say
you
something,
saying,
but I
Jen?
couldn't hear it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, me? No. I mean, I thought that Ian was asking me, so but I heard Rune, so I was stopping.
Oh, yeah, Rune doesn't look back. Nothing. Just heads up the stairs.
Okay. Vesperin, you see Varys is headed towards his way station in Jewel Gate, where he keeps an office, monitors, keeps an eye on things. He can see a lot of Alseta's ring from his desk in that little nook. But where are you headed?
Is the stone still in Dreamgate?
Runestone will be on his person. He used it at the entrance end of the station, but he's made off with it. He's just headed up the stairs.
So I imagine she would look at the retreating Sailix and Waldorff and Varys and just kind of be like,
You can tell the madmen that I'm done cleaning up their fucking messes.
and she leaves through Dreamgate.
Waldorff is standing in the middle of the room like a small child that has witnessed his parents fighting. Just that kind of like strangely lost look on his face. Still holding the chisel like he doesn't know what to do with it. And no longer convinced that he's not dreaming, considering he's been 3 races in the last 2 days and just walked through a wall, essentially, that wasn't there before. Waldorf's brain is like on the verge of just joining Sailix in the madness and just going for a ride.
It's great down here.
Grounding right now is the chisel itself is the only thing that's actually grounding Waldorf right now.
We don't have to worry about things down here. We just do.
He kind of like rests, like drops his hand with the chisel in it, just kind of like down by his side, and kind of slumps down to the ground and sits down and puts his back up against the wall and just kind of like plants the tip of the chisel in the ground. And I think he actually kind of starts to cry a little bit. Just quietly, not like anything overly emotional, but he's just sitting there on the ground with his back up against the wall, and like a slow tear just kind of like rolls down his shiny green cheek.
Rune.
Yeah.
You head to the mezzanine. Is that correct?
Yeah, just somewhere fairly open air.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an exit off to the side if you head past what Sailix called the Menador Suite. Perhaps to get under your skin. You hear the sound of some skittering, some rapping, and then suddenly it stops. Out of fear, in a room off to the side. Down a hallway. Having heard your presence, suddenly silence.
Who's there?
No answer.
Do you belong here or no?
Oh, Rune. Is that you, boy? Don't make me get up. That's your father. In Varys' sculpting room.
Hello, Da.
You enter?
Oh, yeah.
He looks embarrassed. You've not seen him before in this way. He's producing art.
Is it good?
Let's not ask questions. It's decent. It's
Alright.
it's good.
fair.
It's rough for a bust. An elf. You wouldn't really know what he was trying to portray here if you hadn't seen the painting. You imagine Varys would make it. A resident painter. He's quite skilled, doubly so with so much time on his hands. But there's a sincere familiarity in his subject. Bright white hair, a dark gold skin. You've seen this person once before. I'll give you a chance. Do you recognize what you see here? Rune, might it take you a moment?
White hair, gold beard?
No, a dark gold skin. An elf.
Elf of dark gold skin. No, I can't. I don't remember. Oh, wait. Yakuje?
No, this wouldn't be an Akuje. You swear you've seen this exact expression before. He was smiling at you. You don't know where you met him, though. It's peculiar. It's a gaze, a regal white robe with gold symbolism. Pads along the shoulder. The sculpture really only covers a bust, but you have a source. You have a painting. You can make a knowledge check if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't remember at all.
Something deep within your memory here being unearthed.
Which skill should I be rolling here?
Flat intelligence, if you'd like.
Oh, all right.
It's not a high check.
Are we?
Yeah, let's just recall this. You've got to once. You've seen this person exactly one time. Aha. Trace it back. Think back. Think back, Rune. Snowstorm. Years ago, you were in a cave. You were searching for somebody, somebody you had forgotten about. Aghi.
I hadn't forgotten about Aghi, but
Looking
yeah.
for her. She was tracing Demira. You wonder where Aghi would be right about now. But you stumbled upon a cave. That would be the cave with the crystals.
Yeah.
And in the cave, you saw something the others didn't see. An image in the reflection, an elf smiling at you.
Ooh,
The painting of this elf bears a
that
perfect
was a
resemblance.
long time ago. Blink of an eye. But I don't remember the name.
Your father will remind you. Ken Laren. Sculptor. Boy.
Sculptor. The original. Made the gates.
I
Why did you chisel him?
I figured it only fair. He did the same for you.
What? Oh, you mean making the gates?
We have a lot to catch up on. What's got you down?
Ultimately, nothing I don't deserve.
I don't claim to know
I tried to...
why you were gone. I don't know if I want to know. But
Oh, well, that's honestly simple. I was trying to help a friend find their mother. No more, no less. But, as always, with my way of things, there's always a price that must be paid. Magic. And it looks like this one was a friend. Or someone I thought was a friend. Apparently, I finally broke the straw.
broke. Which friend? The halfling.
Oh, no. No. Esperin, Aaron, a name she no longer goes by, whatever she wants to be called.
Oh. A bump in the road. To an otherwise safe travel. Pay no mind to the scuffs. Vesper, she's
family around here.
Yeah, she's been here. Taking care of the place, no doubt. Done the best she could. Don't question that. It's just a decision. One very large decision. That puts so much at danger.
There was a fortnight there where we didn't think you'd come back. I had heard news. I know you wouldn't tell me. He doesn't write home. But she did. She took care of us. Her plan took care of us.
For once, yeah. I don't care what she did. I care about one choice that she made. No more, no less. I've spent decades trying to repair the damage I've done. Not once have I ever made a single step forward. This one thing I needed for us to protect. And now it's gone. So, I do not fault you for wanting to stay here. But I cannot. Whatever fate had tied to me, to those gates, is gone now. Because I don't give two fucks.
That memory fades. The vision you saw of this sculpture, this sculptor, rather, fizzles out. You're back to the present. The Citadel. You know you have archives over in Breach Hill. It wouldn't take long to get there, by any means you chose. But, Rune, where are you headed?
Same place as it was originally. Gonna go to the open air, try and calm down, before figuring out what his next move is.
Yeah. Right.
He does give his father a hug.
Sailix. He'll hug you back. Confused at the ordeal, why the people close to him, those that are still alive at least, why they aren't getting along. He made good progress on the sculpture. He considers this a good day, despite the strange air. An early day, at least. He attended the wedding, turned in early. No doubt the Vesperin brought him back where he could be comfortable. Realize Menador, the Menador suite, once belonging to Sailix. He's been occupying. Comfortable there. You don't know the extent of what he's been doing here, but as you head to somewhere you could clear your mind, Sailix, Waldorff, you're at the Citadel.
Yes. So,
Waldorff, how are you feeling?
I'm going... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Waldorff is in a bit of a daze. Still kind of hungover. A little emotionally drained from all of the drama with Sailix and Rune and Vesperin, and he's feeling like a fish out of water. And he's mildly emotionally traumatized by being first an elf and then an orc. And not knowing what he just did with the chisel and how he got them there, he's kind of he's a little dazed at the moment.
Yeah.
He's tired. He feels like he could sleep for another couple of days.
Right. Sailix, what are you doing?
Blowing up all the gates.
What's your plan there?
As Sailix left behind Rune as he was in a huff, he kind of overheard some of the things he was saying about Vesprin and the gates. And then so he turned around and he made a beeline for the said gates, trying to utilize these are the point of his distress. So if they're gone, he won't be mad anymore.
I think Waldorff would still be there in that case.
Yeah.
Sailix is preparing a destructive ritual. Waldorff might recognize it as something dwarves probably use to clear out tunnels for mining on each of the gates.
Whoa. What are you doing, lad?
Well, these are a point of contention. In eliminating them, the point of contention goes away. Therefore, no one argues.
Than...
Are they useful, though? Are they? Everything in the last 30-some-odd years of my life revolving around these goddamn gates has always ended in tragedy.
Not always.
Sailix looks at Dwarf. There's nothing good that comes of these gates.
Do you not remember when we went to... When I met Kellen? Through one of these
I need
gates?
both of you to make a will save for me.
If I can
Down here in
find
Alseta's ring.
There it is.
How'd you do?
Will.
I got a 26.
It's not good.
I got a 40.
It's not.
You got a 40. You see a flicker in Sailix's eye. Something's wrong with him. He's been losing it, but this is different. It's chaotic, it's destructive for no reason. This isn't a solution. Sailix would fly away if he thought this was moot. He wouldn't break it, not like this. Those runes you're not even sure would work to destroy these gates. Well, something's wrong with Sailix. What do you do?
I instinctively cast Calm Emotions on him.
Ooh! Okay. Is that a will save on his part?
That is a will save on his part.
Alright, roll it to what you got.
Another 26.
There's no way that succeeds. Calm, there's a warm...
So, on a failure, any emotion effects that would affect the creature are suppressed, and the creature can't use hostile action. If the target is subject to hostility from any other creature, it ceases to be affected by calm emotions. But if it's a critical failure, the hostility does not end the effect.
Yeah.
Not entirely
More
sure
importantly,
what the difficulty is there.
yeah, more importantly, there's just a sense of calm. Sailix, you feel that something has been driving you to destroy this, to destabilize the situation. You don't have the perspective of that. You didn't see what Waldorff saw. Or if you still feel that rumbling, that something between these gates isn't right. It's trying to tear everyone apart, but more importantly, everything apart. It wants destruction. It's begging for it. You saw it, though, when you were in the dream gate, where it bled into Duskgate. What do you do? You
Am
can
I
speak to
getting anything
Sailix.
from
Rune
the
isn't
chisel?
far. The chisel. If you step near Duskgate in Alseta's ring, you do feel that's really where the source of this is. It's coming from within the gate.
And the chisel kind of feels
A
connected
rumbling.
to Duskgate.
Oh yeah, strongly. The guiding chisel
I need to
is
get-
the key.
Sailix, I've never really gotten the lay of the land when it comes to the Citadel. Would you be so kind as to show me the gardens from here? And kind of like take him by the arm and just like gently like lead him away from the gates. But kind of trying to get him to show me around a bit. Just being very calm and chill and inside freaking out completely. But I'm trying to get the chisel away from Duskgate.
Hmm.
I want to get out of this room.
2, 3, 4.
I'm a wee bit peckish. If you could lead us past the kitchen or a scullery for, just a quick nip, that might be nice.
Rune, do you have a telepathic bond formed with any of your compatriots?
I no, because we woke up, went to the gate, and then shit fell apart.
Right.
So there's no telepathic bond other than with Corvus.
And where's Corvus?
I mean, story-wise, Corvus can be wherever is most poignant. Rune wasn't particularly keeping track of Corvus at the moment.
I'd say he's on your person. Now, there's a rumbling, a shake, an earthquake of sorts underneath the citadel. The gate, Duskgate, the wall of energy that forms as the gate would typically welcome an entrance, it's painted red. Burning crimson light radiates outwards, and you see it open. It sort of comes out from the floor, actually, but you can see it as it grows outwards to expand. In doing so, it meets other gates. Suddenly, Dreamgate is painted a red. Around Sailix, maybe you thought you were seeing things. Maybe you don't think that's truly Varys. But the gate, Jewel Gate, is coded in red as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until every single one painted. Rune's Familiar sees this. As a result, it doesn't take long for him to dimension door in. Arrive. That voice again. A calling in ancient Draconic. Rune, you didn't hear the voice the first time. You recognize it now. Almost a decade ago, the manifestation of Dayhawk emerged in Huntergate. Neglected, yes, defeated, anything but it's exactly that voice, the voice of the manifestation, just, I mean, simply an echo of Dayhawk. Calling you. The memory you have. Plumes of fire, Huntergate way station, of course, which is erupting in this flame. I have all the control. Come. See the promise of fire. To the other side of each portal, you see a version of what lies beyond. An image. Cypress Point in flames out one side. On the other, you can see Kovlar caving in as an earthquake rips open the pocket of air that is the city of Kovlar in Sagarak. Illusions, visions, to be sure. The threshold opens to the back and to where the stairs are, to Breach Hill, except you see that town as well, in flames. Only when the circle finally fully completes, you see visions of every place you visited in your 30-odd years of life, Rune. In chaos. Destruction, the reckoning, the havoc. You can hear screams. Vesperin, you see a version of this from your side of the Dream Gate as you navigate. Your compatriots at the cove, they won't see it from there. You filter that out, but you see the redness, the lava, the death, and what you see on the other side is you see the form of this smoky dragon, red and furious, appearing to greet Sailix, Waldorff, and Rune. If you were to get closer, Vesperin, you'd see visions yourself of places familiar to you in chaos. An apocalypse, catering specifically to your life experiences. Vespa, do you approach Alseta's ring, or do you head to Cypress Point?
She hesitates for a moment and looks at them like just kind of the desire to go back through is there, but there is obviously like something very deeply hurt. So she, with resolve, turns her back and heads back with the others.
To Cypress Point. Dragon, a manifestation of Dayhawk, albeit small, is sort of coiled around the inside of Alseta's ring here. Sailix, Waldorff, Rune. It stares at you. Each of you see your hometown, in addition to, many of the places you visited, even Galasemni, in embers. Sort of
Dayhawk,
leans.
right?
Yes.
Do you know who I am?
Who would that be?
I'm Rune Ravenswood. Had a very bad day. And to be completely honest, I want you to fuck right off.
Might want to listen to the wizard.
Here's the thing, Dahak. I've seen you before. Kicked you then. Now I'm guessing you're more tied to whatever old divine bullshit brought you around ages ago. But let me tell you, you're dead. Long dead, and you don't belong here. So, you step foot here, we'll have words. Stay where you're at. You don't cross that line, we'll be fine. Now I get it. You're all divine might. You're fiery. You're breathy. You're full of anger. Just not today. You want to fight? You want to try and take over the world? We'll do it tomorrow.
I'm a god.
Oh, gosh.
That's what the last dragon said. So you had take his deal.
I have fooled the goddess of death. I have stood, more or less, before the mad god of magic. I have walked through the gates of the elven deities, one by one. I have seen a piece of you, and watched it melt away to nothing. Whatever you are, I can assure you, does not scare me right now. Fuck it, you just don't scare me.
Step through a gate. I dare you.
Huh. Well, as I recall, you were last locked in Hunter's Gate. Does that sound right?
The binds they weaken, Ravenswood.
Yeah, you know me now, don't you? Fair enough. Fair enough. He walks to Hunter's
I
Gate.
felt it when I came through. Oh shit!
You walk through Hunter Gate.
Yeah.
Sailix walked through behind him.
I was. Waldorff turns just at the last second to try and stop Sailix from following Rune through the gate and misses at the very last second. Fuck! And just a stream of curses as he follows Sailix through the gate too.
Okay. Now, what You see. It would be the charred tunnel that is Hunter Gate. It would lead out to the Clifftop Temple to Kedifis in Akravel. At least that's what you would like to think. Now, it's something else entirely. You expected to see this this visage, right? You would see a dragon. There's no dragon. Not as you remember from years past. No. Through the threshold is Breach Hill. You're smack dab in the center. Anyone crossing an elf gate would appear in this vision. Sailix, Rune, Skysteel, Vesperin, Varys. You're in the center of town. The fountain with the statue of Layman Breachin topples over under the weight of a massive red dragon. People scream, the entire city up in flames. Dead bodies strewn about the floor, decorated along the cut of the hewn stone with viscera. Charred, you smell burning flesh. This. As the dragon lands on a water tower, it bursts open. This was my promise. A promise of fire. That's where we're going to end off tonight, guys.
Oh.
Blah.
Here we
Waldorff
are.
is just
all
chanting
there?
under his breath. It's not real. It's not real.
Varys is there. Yeah, anyone to pass through an elf gate as it weakened, as it choked along, found themselves in the center of this Breach Hill. Dead of night, transported in space and time. A red dragon, massive, the size maybe of the Shumerix, or larger, landed of the tower to greet the wizard. You just hear flames.
Yeah,
But that's where we are.
Because it's his fault.
All right.
Waldorff currently
Well,
has his eyes closed tight. It's just a dream. It's just a bad dream.
just wake up.
I'm
Oh,
not
man.
really
Well,
anymore.
why don't-
Oh my god.
Hey, you're a goblin now. Sorry, Wobblin's canon. We just have to go with it. It's shifted again. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Wobbling.
Wobbling.
Whoops.
Don't worry, we'll get
He'll be
Stanley
all right.
Pufferfish back.
Would Gobdorf be better?
I like Gobdorff. I like Gobdorff.
Wobbling.
good.
Gobdorff? Gobdorff is nice.
Oh yeah.
Gobdorff. Skytooth. Woblin. All right. Well, let's have it with our outros. Kind of a little bit early, but we're picking right back up next week, folks. Episode 58, A Promise of Fire, here in Breach Hill, as we confront the manifestation of Dayhawk in a strange place. Let's hit our alibis. Daniel.
Hi guys, I'm Daniel. I was playing Sailix Lavendale tonight, the insane celestial elf, who I'm gonna have to go back and clip it. Was told to sit the fuck down by Rune.
That was amazing.
Favorite part of the night.
It was so
Easily
good.
favorite part of the
Oh,
night.
that was great.
But I definitely can't look forward enough to next week. So definitely come check us out then. Same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you did like what we did here tonight, come check us out on YouTube. In about 1 week's time, this episode will be uploaded to YouTube, so you could view all of our shenanigans there.
James.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I am the cleric with an identity crisis. Waldorff, Waldelf, Waldork, and now Gobdorf. Or we'll workshop whatever comes next. Wobbling, yeah, wobbling.
Any that alliteration, it's wobbling.
Wobbling, Waldorf, the multi-race cleric now. Yeah, this is always super entertaining. He doesn't know who he is or where he is or what's going to come next, and yeah, he's still on the verge of tears. As always, don't forget to check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/pennyforatale and give us a nice like and a subscribe and all of that fun stuff like you know you're supposed to. And hopefully I will get to see you all next week.
All right, Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I played the Vesperin / Aaron. And, wow, that was a game. You can find me on the internet at Savage Sparrow. Savage Sparrow Studios is my website for amazing, nerdy shirts and accessories to outfit the cool gamers in your life. Also, patreon.com/Savage Sparrow. I post Pathfinder artwork that I make in relation to the game sometimes, so you can subscribe for like $1 a month and see all my pretty arts. Speaking of Mora, the book that I did a ton of artwork for is launching on Kickstarter tomorrow. Penny for a Tale also, Weave the Tale also hosted an actual play of Mora, and you can check it out on their YouTube channel. And, definitely give that some love. I think Weave's doing an interview with some of the creators on Thursday, so that'll be awesome as well. And Penny and the crew is putting out an amazing tabletop RPG ourselves called Necrobiotic, which will be on Kickstarter May 12th.
All right, last but not least, Mr. Smith.
Hello, I'm Mr. Smith. I played a very, very angry Rune Ravenswood this evening, apparently. For whatever it's worth, I was not angry. I was all roleplay. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I hope everyone was okay with me yelling. I apologize. If not, I will...
Don't apologize. You were fine.
Spicy wizard.
It worked really good.
Definitely appreciate everyone watching tonight. Thank you for the subs. We had a couple good subs tonight. Flutterby and a... where were they at? Dicey Bard. And then thank you for the raid. Much appreciated. Olympian 11, thank you very much. If you did enjoy the shenanigans this evening and the heartfelt roleplay, definitely give us a like, a follow. If you are so inclined, a subscribe to help fund this little channel and keep it going. I have nothing else important to say. I am eager to see how next week goes. Does fate still want Rune to stick around? There is the question.
I'm going to throw it out there. If Rune leaves, this world of Galarian burns. I'm throwing it out there like that.
Yeah, I don't think I can stop Sailix on my own.
That's a lot of pressure. I'm not sure.
Hey. Wow.
But Ian,
okay.
thank you for the
god of destruction.
Thank you for the fantastic game. Much appreciated. Ton of fun tonight.
Yeah. Of course, this manifestation of pure chaotic destruction. I'm referring, of course, to Sailix. And Co. will be returning to pick up in an effort maybe to rescue Breach Hill in its time of need. But that is all I have for tonight, folks. Be sure to tune in next week when we see what happens to our beloved city of Breach Hill. Without further ado, good night.